When people talk about AI, they're often referring to machine learning, and that is because it is the backbone of most AI systems. Machine learning is when we teach computers how to recognize patterns and make decisions without giving them a specific set of rules to follow. So instead of hard coding logic, we would give it examples so it can work out the patterns itself. You can think of it like you're trying to learn all different dog breeds, and instead of reading a description of each and every one, you just look at a bunch of pictures and then you kind of recognize the patterns and you can group them eventually. That's kind of how machine learning works. It just learns by examples. Let's say you want to teach a computer the difference between cats and dogs. You don't write rules like if it has a pointy ears or a long tail, it's a cat. Instead, you feed the computer loads of images that are either labeled cat or dog. The model will then look at all these labeled images and come to its own conclusions of how to identify a cat from a dog. So it might pick up on that cats have more pointy ears. Now, it doesn't actually see a pointy ear or a snout. It just looks at the pixels of that image and recognizes patterns from those and where they fall within the image. And as it trains, it can adjust internal values to try and get more accurate at guessing correctly. And sometimes this training process uses neural networks, which are great in spotting patterns in complex data or images. And I've made a video on neural networks and I'll link it below for you to check out later. So eventually, after all this training on this labeled data, it might be given an unlabeled image of a cat and be able to recognize it as a cat. And that's not because we told it what a cat is, it's worked that out by itself. There are three main types of machine learning, and the first is supervised learning. This is the most common, and it's when a model is trained on labeled data. The second is unsupervised learning, and this is where the model is just given unlabeled data and it works out patterns on its own. And the last one is reinforcement learning, and this is a bit more like trial and error, and an agent might take an action and then it gets rewards or penalties depending on how good that action was, and then it learns a strategy over time. You've probably come across loads of examples of machine learning. It's in your search engine, it's in voice assistants, even translators, and we use it because these patterns are too complex for us to manually write up, so we let the machine learn it itself. So basically, machine learning is just teaching a computer with loads of data and letting it recognize patterns and getting smarter and smarter. If you enjoyed this video, I have a playlist on AI for beginners, so go check that out. But other than that, I'll see you next time. What the hell are you doing? What the hell is he doing?